Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Everyday Carry for Everyday Guys. So today we're going to be looking at something that I don't think has been reviewed on YouTube at all yet, which is very cool for me. I'm getting somewhere, right? The TrustFire Z9 Zoomable Flashlight. So this is not everyday carry. It's not tactical. It's totally utilitarian. I'm cool with that. I don't mind looking at cool things that are not tactical, if that's the word you want to use. Some things that are just a bit different that I think are really cool. TrustFire Z9 definitely falls into that category. Now, before I talk to you about the light, and I'm going to show you beam patterns, it's got a very interesting and very different beam pattern, both when zoomed in and zoomed out. Let's call zoomed out mode this, and let's call it indoor mode. And zoomed in mode, as it's zoomed in, to be zoomed in now, let's call that outdoor or throw mode or candela mode. I don't know, we're going to figure it out as we go along. One thing I did want to talk about is the concept of brand loyalty. Just before we get into this review, I just want to say this might rub a lot of people the wrong way, or rub some people the wrong way. I have zero brand loyalty. I don't care if it's TrustFire, Olight, Surefire, Streamlight, PowerTac, Woburn. I really do not care who makes the tool, right? If someone came to me today and said, Ryan, I have absolutely a totally free budget, I have as much money to spend as there is available to spend, what's the best weapon mounted light you can offer me? I would say go for the Surefire X300. I really think that's probably the most survivable weapon mounted light on the market. But does it make sense to buy for an everyday guy who might have a budget? No. You know, here in South Africa, Surefire X300 is like between 7,000 and 8,000 Rand. That's a lot of money. I think a few years ago, the average wage of the average South African was between 10 and 15,000 Rand. That's half your wage on a weapon light. Doesn't make sense, right? If there's no budget, buy X300. If the budget is totally free and someone asks me what's the best optic to buy, I would say buy a Trigicon RMR. I think it's probably the best red dot sight on the market right now. And it has been for a while. I think it's the most survivable. But doesn't make sense to spend 15,000 Rand on a red dot if you're just a normal everyday carrier? Probably not, because there are things like Holosun, Vortex, that can do pretty much the same thing for more than less than half the price. So brand loyalty, guys, I have no brand loyalty, and my loyalty is to the consumer. I care about getting you the coolest, best things at the best prices. Now, where the Z9 comes in, TrustFire is a fairly unknown brand. That's cool. Everybody was unknown once. I don't mind. And this flashlight is currently 599 Rand. I'll leave a link down below to Torch SA. Torch SA sent me this. Henry Beeman, thank you so much for sending me, for always supporting the channel. 599 bucks, so you're not breaking the bank. But what's important to understand here is this is a utilitarian flashlight. This is something you're going to use around the house. You're going to use on camping trips. It's going to be something that if it breaks, you're not going to die, right? It's very important we understand that. It probably isn't going to break, but it's not something I'm going to base my life on. It's just a really cool utilitarian flashlight. Okay, so let's talk about it. Firstly, let's get the admin out of the way. When you purchase this guy, you'll get it in a box like so. You will get the flashlight with a lanyard already on it. You'll get a set of instructions, which you won't need. Now, after watching this video, you will get a micro USB recharging cable, and that is pretty much it. It comes with a TrustFire branded 18650 rechargeable battery. Okay, let's talk about lumens, modes, and candela. So you have 3 modes, right? The max lumen mode is 600 lumens. A light tap will take you to the lowest lumen mode of 230 lumens. And another light tap will take you to strobe, which I believe is 600 lumens. The flashlight has a memory, so if you put it off in strobe and you put it back on, it's going to go back to strobe. A light tap from strobe will take you to the max lumen mode of 600 lumens. Now, this flashlight has a max beam distance of 260 meters, and it has no momentary on mode. The lens, as you can see, how can I best show this, right? Let's put it on and maybe just take it to low. As you can see, we've got a convex lens, right? And I don't know if that's the cause of this really amazing beam pattern. We'll switch to beam shots in a second. So the fact that it has no momentary on rules it out as a tactical or defensive flashlight. I'm cool with that, right? Sometimes you don't want to make a flashlight that caters for every single need. Sometimes you just want to, you don't want to be a jack of all trades. Sometimes you just want to be a master of utilitarianism. Now I'm going to switch to beam shots. For beam shots, I'm going to be comparing it to the Olight Seeker 2 Pro, not for brightness. We're talking about two very, very different flashlights here in two very, very different price ranges. This is like, I think, what was the last price in this? 3,000 something rand? And this one here is 599 rand. So we're not talking lumens. I think this thing, I can't even remember. Is it 3,000 lumens? I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head what the max lumen setting. But what I'm going to use this for is show you the different beam profiles with the TrustFire Z9. Let's roll beam shot. Okay guys, so we're going to stick with my normal outdoor beam tests. The door in front of us, the wooden door, is about 30 yards away, say about 25 meters. And I'm going to use the Olight Seeker 2 Pro as my control, as I've been doing. Just wait for this car to come past. Okay, so this is the Seeker 2 Pro on turbo. As you can see, good spill, nice thrower, decent light, right? Now we are going to switch to the TrustFire Z9. Now, as you can see, when it's on sort of normal mode, let's call it indoor mode, it's got absolutely no reach. But once you extend the head and you access that, shall I say, zoomable function, look at how the beam pattern changes, and you get a really cool sort of square hotspot. Very, very awesome. And I think this would comfortably reach over 200 meters. It's a really hot hotspot. Very cool. Really like this flashlight. And if you need a bit more flood, you can just sort of unzoom it and bring it in for more indoor use. Okay, so this is the same door at 10 meters on non-zoomed mode, or indoor mode as we've been calling it. And as we zoom it in, we can notice that hotspot just get hotter and hotter. And you can zoom it to sort of how much of a hotspot you want, right? You can adjust that candela to where you want the hotspot to be the size of the door, a bit bigger, a bit smaller. Obviously, the smaller the hotspot, the further the reach is going to be. But very cool adjustable flashlight. Okay guys, let's start off on the Seeker 2 Pro. This is on max setting, and as you can see, there's a lot of color washout. The color rendition isn't great. Now what I look for in a utilitarian flashlight is color rendition. Now obviously you can dim this, but I'm going on max setting because that's the way we're going to use this light. If I do dim it, you do get better color rendition somewhere like there, but still you can see it's got quite a discernible hotspot. Like you can pretty clearly tell where the lumen and the candela are focused on this light. Now have a look at the TrustFire Z9. The entire beam profile is the hotspot, right? I'll bring it down so you can see. As you can see, there is no spill. The hottest center is the same as the hottest outer edge. Very cool. It's got a really cool beam profile. I'm very impressed with it. It's just a really useful indoor flashlight. And as you can see, the skateboards, the red painting, the grey painting got a really good, really vivid color rendition. If you're someone like a electrician and you need to know the difference between a red and a blue wire, you want something that gives you good color rendition. Now you can dim this if you need to. A light tap will take it down, and another light tap will take it to strobe if you so need. The strobe will work even when zoomed in to increase the candela. Very, very cool. And then another light tap and you take it to its max setting. Also, I can tell you this stays cooler for much longer. I think it's because of those the way the head is designed with those air-cooled slats or fins or whatever you want to call it, but it does help with cooling. Really cool, like the light. So guys, as you saw, really cool utilitarian / long search range flashlight. One other thing I did want to add, because it has the zoom function, it is not waterproof, okay? Go into buying this flashlight in the knowledge this is that flashlight you're going to keep on your nightstand or on your fridge or wherever the case may be when you want to use a flashlight for utilitarian purposes. The nice part of it is it comes in at a reasonable price range, $5.99. It's not something that you if you lose it, break it, get it dunked in water, whatever the case may be, you're going to be heartbroken because you spent $3,000 on a light. I really can't remember what this light costs. So if I'm overpricing it or underpricing it, I apologize. It's something you're going to have around the house and you're going to use it utilitarianly. I don't know if that's the right word. I really like it. It's actually been standing on my nightstand. So I've switched from having this as my utilitarian home flashlight to this because I love that beam pattern. I think that beam pattern in non-zoomed mode is really cool. You're getting that full circle is your hotspot. There's no brighter or darker areas on that circle. The camera might compensate a bit for lightness, but to the eye, it seems like that full circle is your hotspot, which I think is really cool. And then if you need to go outside and search a bit, or you are looking at something further down the road, whatever the case may be, you extend this guy and you get a bit of a thrower, right? As you saw from the beam shots, you do get a decent amount of throw and a very directed beam, which I think is really cool. I really like it. I'm super taken by this by this inexpensive flashlight. I find novelty in things that are designed that don't try to be things that they're not. You know, like one thing I like about Surefire, what I don't like is the price. What I like is Surefire designs lights for defensive purposes. They don't have 17 different modes. They got a tail switch. It goes on and goes off. Max lumen, that's it. Or max candela, whatever the case may be. That is it. I like that. As my journey of everyday carry and learning about gear has evolved, I've begun to appreciate gear that is directed at really one purpose, and it's okay to be directed at one purpose. This is directed at being utilitarian. Now it's got a 1.5 meter drop safety. It's not a tactical flash. It doesn't have the word tactical on the box anyway, so it escapes my drop safety test. However, it does come guaranteed. So if you have any issues, obviously speak to the guys at Torch SA. They are exquisite with their returns policy. You will have no problems if it generally or genuinely is a fault in the construction of the light, which I don't think it will be because we are looking at aircraft grade aluminium. It feels like a beefy, bulky sucker. So I don't foresee that being a problem. Speak to Henry Beeman at Torch SA. He's a legend of a guy and he'll always try to work with you to assist you. So the TrustFire Z9. I think if you've just watched this, you've just watched the first ever YouTube review of the TrustFire Z9. Thank you to Henry Beeman at Torch SA for supporting the channel and sending me this. This is literally my new favorite utilitarian light. I love it. I can't get over that beam pattern and I can't get over the versatility of being able to increase the candela and the throw. So it's something you can use inside and outdoors. Guys, I'll see you in the week for a vlog, and then I'll see you on the weekend again for another gear review. If you like this kind of thing, please take a moment to subscribe. If you have already subscribed, please try subscribing to another EDC channel because we all need your support right now. That is it, guys. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.